Okay, back home from what's becoming my second home. Some of you will get that joke, but yeah, back home again, guys. Okay, so bought a new iPad because my larger one unfortunately died, and I just don't have time to repair it at the moment versus buy a new one. So I did, and just pulled all out the box. Had to reconfigure, of course, set back up to. Let's have a look here. That should work, hopefully. Good. Back to the SDR software that obviously, while I'm in bed at the moment, works so well, and definitely makes life a bit easier. But one of the other things I added to the iPad was this little device, and this is the Combo Touch by Logitech. There's a power saving device there, and the reason I went the Logitech was I'm in rooms like this at the moment a lot in bed, and sort of and it's darker, and having the illuminated keyboard really made a lot of sense. And look, I didn't really need a keyboard for the iPad, but believe me, it acts as a really nice protective case for it. This flips over. I won't flip it over at the moment because you'll lose the screen here, but yeah, you basically flip that over, and the iPad obviously just pops out of this here. A bit dark in here, I know, but sort of get what you get with my videos today. So I'm just so glad to be home, to be honest. I'm getting a bit sick of... Anyway, let's go on with the positives. Positives are I'm home. I might change that delay time on the keypad though, because most times I can charge. Now, so this basically is an interesting concept because you can take this... Oh, got some noise. Candles group, hang on. Well, there you go. It's Tom, good old Tom. Bit of a plug for the Candos group, 7093 4:30 every day. No, not every day, Monday to Friday. Anyway, all good. But isn't it good? Like, this is so simple, Now, the keyboard for this actual usage is not really a great advantage apart from what? Oh, typing in frequencies, etc. So, if I want to quickly hit a different frequency and type it in versus having to do it by the numerical, I've got a touch feel, which is nice, but it's probably more for things where I've actually got to, type a quick text on YouTube, or if I'm replying to someone, blah, 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 etc. Oh, the other thing that turned up today, by the way, you won't even see these, it's too dark in here. Anyway, hang on. Oh, jeez. Everything's remote control in this property, hopefully. There we go. Couple of boxes of Z Fold 4s. And I can't really see much of that yet, can you? But anyway, hard to believe that. I mean, even $4,000, like, long story, but this was charged up initially at $5,200 for the two phones, and I can show you a good example of how they mucked up, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, in the end, I don't think they're a bargain for $4,000. Anyway, let's get back to it. I'll turn this light off in here. I probably don't need it 200%. Actually, it's nice in this room in the dark like this, to be honest. Everything sort of glows. The only thing I'm thinking of doing, I've got a spare 80-inch TV. I'm just thinking about whether that wall size is going to be overpowering. I don't know. I reckon it'd be alright. Anyway, so the keypad, if we just put some light back on, really good, because what you can do, if I'm pretty right, it's magnetic. Hang on, let's try this. Yep, there we go. Okay, so if I want, I take the keypad, magnetic, throw it over there. This little device has a flap on the back, so I can go back to just using my iPad as an iPad, totally touch control. Very well protected. The cases are brilliant. So, yeah. Now, look, a lot of you will sort of say, which iPad did you buy? Actually, I won't. I'll just turn it down a bit. That's better. Did you buy an iPad Air versus a 10th generation versus the what else is there? Oh, well, the big someone made a bid. That's lovely, but go away. And my answer to that is I went with the iPad 10th generation with 256 gig on it. Even though everything's so cloud orientated these days, for the sake, you can't add on storage to these things. So, when you do find out 64 is too small, there's only two stages, 64 and 256. So the $200 for the 256, I was talking to my mate Andre VK3MAW, and he's dead right. It's the $200 you'll regret you didn't spend later, so definitely went that way. One of the things Andre pointed out with me is that I can be a little bit not so delicate with the way I use things. Now, Andre's in the trade. This is the non-laminated screen. For what I need, I'm probably going to crack this at some stage. I'm probably going to hit it, do something, hence the cases and everything we buy to protect them. But the cost of replacing this screen here versus a laminated screen, Andre was showing me the numbers, and it's just the difference is phone book numbers. It really is. So when you're looking at the iPads, this has a slower processor than the latest M1 processor. So bear that in mind if you're a big a guy who wants to do lots of producing lots of graphics and things like that. Sure, I'd understand why you go for the M1 chip, etc. But this is all this machine has to do. This machine doesn't have to do much more or much less than what it's doing here right now. Obviously, when I'm in hospital at times, I want to go in and type emails and excuse me, and use the machine for that. So the keyboard was the reason for that and to do that. But from my very small knowledge of iPads, bear in mind I'm an Android man generally, and the only reason I bought an iPad was because we needed it for this iPad software, the iOS for SDR software. But seriously, for $1,000, it's neither here nor there. It's not a lot of money to spend for a 10.9 inch screen, which basically I did find the bigger one, the Pro. Excuse me, I'm trying to remember if they 12.9 are they. I did find that was a bit of a harder. It was like it's the difference between being one-handed versus two-handed, you'll see that one come up for sale pretty soon. I actually said to Andre, I said, someone might, we'll chuck it on VK Classifieds. I've got all the cases and bits for it. I just, to be honest, I've not got the time to sit around repairing these things when they go wrong. And it was easier just to go spend $1,000 and say, right, problem solved. Especially with me, in and out of hospital all the time. I don't need economical answers. I just need instant answers, which is always it's a good thing. Anyway, so you may be an iPad Air 5 type. Am I using the right terminology? I am shocking with my knowledge here, but really, I could go through all the different models of iPad if I quickly brought up something on screen here, but the truth is you wouldn't be listening to an expert. I know very little about iPads, but what I do know, number one, I crack screens quite a bit. I'm terrible. So for this here, I can order a screen for it for, $60-$70, and we've got the laminated, not laminated, but we've got the heat equipment here to put it in a vise and change it quite easily. I think Andre was saying the replacement screens for these things were nearly half the price of the iPad, because of the fact that you buy the laminated, it's a full, touchpad, etc. Where there is a slight distance between the actual glass here that you're looking at and the actual screen, which in my case probably does suit me a bit better. Who knows? My luck, I might do anything to it and not be able to prove that I can buy the screen cheaper. Although that might be a positive, come to think of it. It's a bit of reverse thinking there. Anyway, but definitely, if you're buying an iPad, consider some of these, these keyboards. Oh, this is too dark in here. Anyway, keyboard options. Once again, it's a nice stand if you kind of just want to have it just sitting on your lap without the keyboard. I find with the keyboard on it, it sticks there with the magnetic stuff very well. Very easy to attach and very easy to. And what I want to do is try and see if I can work out whether I can turn some of these keys into macros, i.e., I'd like to be able to, from the keyboard, be able to vary the frequency, etc. So I'll need to talk to. There's always something coming up in my email. I'd like to turn, you know, some of these keys into more workable keys for this particular software. Now that may not be possible. I need to talk to our good friend over in Germany about that, Marcus. But you know, I may be dreaming there. But who knows? There might be sort of a way to just do some macros, which would be nice for it, especially when you start getting into more the other functions of the SDR software. So when you get into the tools screen and you start wanting to, you know, do FT8, etc. I mean, well, definitely FT8 is probably one of the best examples of, you know, of being able to, and that's not going to work very well at the moment, but you know, being able to quickly do some macros, type up what you want, have them sitting there. So yeah, for FT8, this probably works as a great example. Sorry, I'll just go back into tools there. Some of the other ones, actually all of these, you may not use them, but you know, they've got certainly, it'd be nice to be able to almost turn some of them into key functions to be able to access, say, the DX cluster up here, etc. QRZ's another biggie, you know, that's for sure, you know, sort of, so yeah, anyway. All right, enough rambling on. Excuse me. Highly recommend the Logitech Combo Touch, it's called. It was $269 Australian versus $399 Australian for the Ipad Magic keyboard. And remember, these keyboards don't suit all iPads, so you need to get the right keyboard and case to suit your particular iPad, not only just in size but in the variations. Like the 10th generation is actually out on its own. It has one item that fits the 10 but doesn't fit anything else. The Airs, iPad Airs, etc., you know, go through 3, 4, 5, etc. But yeah, just be a bit careful of that. Just order the right one. And we actually got the machine came out of Officeworks, but they didn't have the keypads yet. So they're a little bit early for them. But JB Hi-Fi had got an early order of them because they've only just been released for this unit for the Logitechs, and so Sam did all the running around while I was in hospital and got everything sorted out. Amazing, that girl, crazy. Although we did get her a Z Fold 4 phone, I suppose, so, you know, so she's paid well. $2,000 bloody phones. I still think that is crazy money for phones. Anyway, we bought them anyway, didn't we? All right, 73s. Thanks very much. I got a few of the messages that came through while I was obviously in a bit of pain, and this was not a good one. I really didn't think I'd be sitting here having this video with you. So the ones who need to know how serious it got, you already know, and it's unfortunate, but we just, well, you know what? My message to everybody: live every day like it's your last. Enjoy life. Get out there, have fun, and don't worry about yesterday. Just worry about today and possibly tomorrow. That would be my bit of advice to you. All right, thanks very much for having a look at the SDR for iOS on the new Ipad 10.9 screen, I think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong, I always forget some of the details, but I definitely remember it was a 10th generation iPad. So, and by the way, just to be very fair here, the iPad 10th generation is not the choice of everybody. Go onto YouTube. A lot of people think that you probably can make a better choice than the 10th. It just suited my needs for what I needed. Look, price wasn't the issue. I couldn't care less what it costs, but this just suited me more for the fact that I know that I'm probably going to bugger up a screen at some stage. So please don't do as I do, because my reasons could be very different for you. Do as you need to do for yourself, and I'm sure you'll find a unit that suits you. All right, well, we'll let the candles net run. I'm going to go back to watching my slow horses thing over here. I'm under instructions to go bloody nowhere at the moment, so I'll keep you updated. But I will be back on top. I'll be back very soon. I have got bundles of things that need to be done before Christmas to get on the market and to get sorted. So I just need a bit of good luck. So wish me luck, guys. All right, 73s. Thanks very much for having a look. Cheers all.